Hey, what's going on? Just thought I'd throw a little random out there for my people, my peeps. Um, letting y'all know I'm doing well, still healthy. What's up, CJ? Should get a few more people in here. Give it a minute. It usually takes a couple minutes to get populated, but hey, what's up, Yankee? Good to see you, brother. Joe Morgan, always a pleasure. Hey, Luciano. What's up, Monty? Hey, Larry. Yeah, Moose Man should be on here in just probably a minute or two. I just sent out the links to a few people. I didn't put them like it always does. Oh, you know what, Zach? You know what? Hold on. Uh, that's one. All right, Zach. All right, hold on. All right, get Zach up here. Everybody loves Zach. All right. Yeah, no doubt, Yankee. Like seriously, yeah, I think me and John were cut from the same cloth. Just he got a bigger chunk of it, if you know what I mean. But other than that, yeah, I absolutely I love John's chat, man. What a patriot! Good grief. I know he goes under the prepared mind, but he could go under the patriot mind too, and it would absolutely work just as well. Hey, what's up, Moose?
Hey, what's happening?
Nothing, just having one of them boring afternoons. Thought I'd pop up here and see what everybody's up to, and just say hello to everybody.
No, okay, yeah. Well, what is this? Thursday afternoon, early?
Yeah, yeah, very early. Like I said, the sun is still out, man.
Well,
Hey,
hey,
what's up,
oh, we're
best?
live, huh? Already live.
Oh yeah, yeah. What's up, gun loving grandpa? How you doing, brother? I think we're all gun loving, God fearing. Well, to an extent. God's not necessarily to fear,
Yep.
it's to respect and love. But what's up, Ronnie?
Hello.
Son just got home.
Nothing much today.
Hey, what's up, Josh?
Echo.
You want to pop up on the chat?
Echo.
I got your email. I'll shoot you a link too. So how you doing today, man?
Yeah, I woke up feeling like crap again and sore. I guess if I when I turn in my sleep, it it kind of irritates my surgical site, so I had to get up and drink coffee and took a pain pill, and that when it starts relieving the pain and stuff, I'm doing better when that happens. So just got to deal with it.
It's getting better though, right?
Well, it's not as fast as I would think it would. I mean, I'm still got a lot of swelling down in the Netherlands that is kind of painful, and down in my pelvis and that, and along my surgical sites. So but they were in there and they disrupted a lot of tissue to pull all that stuff out of me. So
Yeah.
it is what it is. I'll be thankful for the day I can wake up and don't have to take any pain medication. That lets me know things are in much better
Yep.
shape. So,
Don't mind my asking. How's the pooping going?
How's the what?
The pooping. Does it
Oh, that's
hurt to poop?
fine. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just that every time I cough, or every time I laugh, or every time I stand up, or every time I move, or every time I fart, I pee. So I gotta.
Oh no. God.
I'm European, right? I'm European because it's going on all the time.
Grief.
And thank God for Depends and pads, but I'm just got to retrain my since they took that muscle out that controls everything and that. But now I got a free flow, so it's just a matter of getting it fully under control. But yeah, got to do what you got to do. But I've actually only losing about, when I start feeling I'm losing a little bit, I run to the bathroom and evacuate my system. So it's I'm controlling. I'm gonna say 95% is under control, which is really good for only being a little over 2 weeks out of surgery.
Yep. Well, I always said you're tough as nails, man.
Well, even the tough nail gets bent sometimes when it gets
Well,
struck
yeah,
on.
it gets hot. Yeah. I've seen many a nails that bend. Yep.
Yep. But I'm just, like I said, I'm fighting for my life. So when I sit down, I walk around, I lay down, I repeat. I try to eat good when I get hungry, and sometimes I just haven't had much of an appetite, but I still make myself eat.
That's a good one, Yankee. Tough as a $2 steak, right?
Actually, them dollar steaks from Dollar Tree, them little thin ribeyes they got for $1 aren't too bad. They're not tough.
I don't
Hey,
know.
Aaron, buddy.
Hey, what's up, Benjamin, Larry? Yeah. Okay, your
Yeah,
prostate holds the ability to hold. Yeah, okay.
yeah, yeah. And I don't have that now. It's gone. So,
Well, hopefully you don't have any cancer too.
yeah. Well, like I said, that remains to be seen since it did escape and got into my lymph nodes. So now it'll be future blood tests over the next course of the next few months. We'll start that probably in another couple of weeks. I'll go get the first blood test and see what the PSA level is, and then we monitor that. And if the PSA level stays down 0 to 1, I'm pretty good shape. But if it climbs, then we know we've got a problem.
Hey
So,
Zach, did you change your email address? I tried sending you the link twice, brother. I don't know what's going on there. That's kind of weird. What's up, Hanging Arizona? Hey, Hanging Arizona, you're out here too. Do you think that the AG is going to decertify this last election results?
man,
That's
it's
a
hard
good.
to say what's going to
That's a
happen
good
in that
question.
piece.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start emailing the son of a bitch myself because I live out here. It's my right, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, hey, look, man, we all knew this was fraudulent. You guys went and did that audit. We found out there was all kinds of fraud. You got to decertify it. So
Well, that's the
that's what.
thing. I brought this up last night in chat, and I don't know if anybody's seen it. You know, under our Bill of Rights, we have the right to petition the government for redress. Now, why have we not seen a national petition to stop this fraud and signed by millions of people? Because if we get petitions signed by millions of people and we flood Congress, we flood the Senate, we flood our local governments, they have to acknowledge that. But I've not seen any organization or any group starting a nationwide petition to stop this madness, to stop this spending, to stop the illegal immigration and all the things that need to be that's wrong with this country right now.
That's the one I'm sending to Zach. I don't know. Keep saying message not delivered. I don't know why.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
you're
Larry.
absolutely right.
Larry, I had a pee bag for my leg, and they took it away from me when I went. And I wished I'd have grabbed it and brought it home, but they threw it in the garbage at the hospital when they pulled my catheter. So I've got my big one for at nighttime. I can put on an external catheter and hook up. I've tried that a little bit, but sometimes it gets pinched off in the middle of the night, and the pressure blows it off, and then it's a mess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is basically the law of our land right here, the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence. But our government is not following it. And it says directly in the Declaration of Independence that when the governing body no longer does the will of the people or the governed, it is our not only our responsibility but our duty to either amend it or abolish it and change our government. And I think that's about the point we're at right now. I mean, I am so
Well,
pissed off.
we're trying to be peaceful. We're trying to be peaceful and handle it with words and let them know our disgust. Um, I will say that years ago, when we had a gun control bill coming out, we flooded Congress and the Senate. Every senator and every congressman's fax machines. We found their fax numbers and we started faxing them. So we ran their fax machines out of paper. They came in and there was papers all over their offices from that fax machine spitting out uh, uh, our distaste for the laws that they were trying to pass that were unconstitutional. And it backed them off. But
they don't quit. They never
no,
quit.
they never will. They never will.
Well, they want our guns.
Yeah.
Why do they want our guns so bad?
Because they can't control us. They cannot control us. If we have the guns, we can kill. We can fight back. They don't want us to be able to fight back. That's why all your dictators and stuff, Mao and the Russians and all that took the guns away from people so they could execute them. That's why Hitler took the guns away from the Jews so they could execute them. They can't fight back. Once you have no weapons, you're at their mercy. Now, the only good thing is, like the state troopers I work with up in Alaska, who were all NRA members, realized that if they took our guns away, their guns were the next to go. And they said, no, we can't have that. We want an armed citizenry, and we want to keep our arms too. So that when you've got a police force that thinks that way, you're in pretty good shape.
Yeah, and luckily I do live in one of those areas. We've got our police force. They don't mind that we have armed citizens out here.
Yep. And I'm in Indian territory now, and our elected sheriff is all pro-gun, pro-Second Amendment. We're a sanctuary county. Now we're a whole sanctuary state here in Oklahoma. We've still got some things to work out. We still have to fill out, if you go to a gun store by federal law, you have to do the 4473 and the background check. But we can sell guns among ourselves without all that bullshit like they do in other, like in Oregon. You got to take a gun to a dealer to transfer it to another person and pay the money. So
that's
bullshit. Yeah. So anyway, I never thought I'd live to see the day, though, of what we're facing now. And I've been here a long time, and we talk about people being sheep. I got to bring this point up. It was brought up last night. We don't want to call these people that wear masks and that sheep. And I'll tell you why. If you read the Bible, God says he will separate the sheep from the goats. We are the sheep that he will put on the right side. The goats are the ones he will put on the left side for destruction. So these people are not sheep. We're the sheep. They are the goats. They are the ones going against God. They're the ones that don't believe in God. They're the ones that's going to be separated from God. So I believe in being a humble sheep that's well armed so that when the wolves come, I have a say as to who's going to be dinner.
Well, wouldn't we be more like the sheep dog at that point?
Well, we're armed sheep. Hi, Zach. Good to see you, brother.
Long time no see, man. How's your hangover this morning?
Zach got a beard, or is that peanut butter around his face?
No,
Oh,
he's got
a
that
beard.
little patch. He's got that little glory patch. What do you call that
Yeah.
thing?
Womb broom. We call that a womb broom. I still say Zach should keep that Indian voice he uses all the time. I prefer to hear that voice over
Oh
all
God!
the others.
Camel.
It cracks me up. I mean,
Oh, dude, it cracks everybody up. What's up,
yeah.
Pamela? Wow, hello everybody. Holy crap, we got 40 people watching already. What the hell?
The lonely people are out there looking for something to do, and here we are.
Oh, by the way, everybody, YouTube finally freaking paid me all that PayPal money that everybody was donating to me and everything. So that's why you're gonna see me over on this channel more often. You know, now granted, we can't talk about certain topics like we do on the After Dark, but and you know, we got to watch our cussing and all that stuff. But other than that, yeah, dude, I think we're pretty much good to go, man. Who knows? I don't need a whole lot of money to live, to be honest with you. I mean, like $350 a month, $400 a month is about enough. That covers pretty much all my bills. So
you need to get a.
I need a what?
You need to get a job so you can increase your supplies and your arsenal.
Well, if I can find one that doesn't require me to wear a mask or you know,
yeah,
the peanut butter in my arm, yeah. What's up, staying high? Hey, Kenneth. Let's see here. All right. No, you didn't lose your wrench, Pamela. This is a different channel, but.
Yeah.
All right. I'm getting to it. Hold on a minute now. Getting to it. All right. I think I got y'all covered.
Hey, Stuart.
But actually, no. I'm thinking about just making these bracelets. I've got some new clasps in. They're gonna have the whistle. They're gonna have the fire starter and a compass on them. So, and those things sell for about $30 a pop. At least I think that's what they're going for right now.
And your bracelet you sent me didn't fit, so Red has two of them. But a friend of mine who is a Navy SEAL sent me this one. It's the Navy SEAL colors. Yeah, it's the Navy SEAL colors. So I've got one that fits me now. But yeah, isn't that nice?
Yeah, that is cool, man. I need to figure out how to do that design.
Yeah. It has the red down the middle and then overlapped with the yellow and notch and then the green along the border and then the green and then the green. I don't know how they tie these things either. I never took the time, but the green in the back like that, and then the red just shows up in the front. So
I bet I know how they do it. They probably just run a strand. They
That's
probably
exactly what it is. There's a strand. There's a strand in there that's run lengthwise. So you got a short strand there. But,
yeah. All right. Well, hey, man, I'm all about learning new knots, man. I've got a whole book on them, but
yeah.
I'll get it figured out. But I figure for now, people are enjoying these things. So
Yeah.
he was drinking screwball whiskey. I don't know what he was drinking. No, he was drinking tequila. Or actually it was margarita. Margarita mix. Yep. Which I've got no problem, dude. The only problem that you got with me when I drink tequila is that I am going to be hitting on every single woman in the freaking place, man.
I quit drinking tequila because I woke up with fat girls I didn't even really know.
I know, right?
I ain't ashamed to admit it. I ain't ashamed to admit it.
No, been there, done that. No,
Yep. And
got to
it's
be
even
careful
worse if
with
you
that
eat the
hard
worm out
liquor.
of real mezcal. If you eat the worm out of
Ooh,
real mezcal tequila, oh,
yep. Just sticking to bourbon. Yeah, I don't blame you there.
I'm Eric.
So I hope everybody is having a very good day so far. And like I said, I just thought, I just got done watching my friend John over at the Prepared Mind, and he just, man, he was just going, man. He's such a fucking patriot, and it's like I was like, okay, I've got to keep this. I've got to keep the show going. So I figured, why not? I'll come over here. We can talk about constitutional stuff because, like, seriously, the way our country is going right now, um, it's just absolutely disgusting. Oh my god, just absolutely disgusting.
Yep. And they've taken notice of that red flag bill in that pork spending bill because a bunch of congressmen were, alerted by pro-gun groups about this stuff, and so that may be a stalling factor in some of this because we're not going to stand up and let them just
No,
write laws that are unconstitutional that we have to fight in court if we can stop it ahead of time.
dude, did you see? I watched this video earlier. I don't know if y'all saw it. It was on Forbes. I think it was Forbes News, something like that. Put it out, but they had Mitch McConnell, the turtle, but they had two other senators in there, and one of them took the bill, the literal bill, for $3.5 trillion, and basically said this bill is like 200 and 2,500 pages long. So basically, each page is worth like $1.5 billion or some crazy freaking insane number. I mean, who knows what a $1 trillion is, man?
Yeah.
I never heard of $1 trillion. Not when I was growing up. This is all brand new to me.
Man, I would be happy as hell if I had $10,000 or $20,000 in the bank, even a little more. And that's what I don't get. Where is all the money coming from these poor immigrants that are paying thousands, $5, $10, $30,000 I've heard to get across the U.S. border, and I don't think $1,000 in my bank account when I just got my Social Security check, and I got to start writing bills out and making hospital payments and stuff. Where the hell is all these people people getting all this big money from? Is what I want to know. Why can't
Well,
I get a piece of the pie?
right now the Federal Reserve is just doing one of these numbers. They're like one of them guys at the strip club, just spitting out dollar bills. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah,
about where we're
yeah.
at right now.
Well, we're just printing paper. Well, a lot of money does come back to the Federal Reserve that's damaged and is destroyed and recycled. They chop it up, they recycle it, and all that. So there is money coming back in. But yeah, they're printing money at an extremely high rate of speed. That our money is only based on trust. There is no other
Yep,
backing on our money right now.
that is
Now
true. That is.
here's and I've heard some of your discussions the other night, and I wanted to jump in, and I just gritted my teeth, and it was too many people. What people don't understand is if we go back on a gold and silver standard, the
Mm-hmm.
actual true value of gold on government record is $26 an ounce. Silver is $1.72 an ounce. That is what your ratio is based on today, even on the world of the U.S. debt clock. People don't understand when your dollar is more than $26 for a gold ounce of gold, it means for every much it goes up, your dollar is worth less. So in other words,
Mm-hmm.
if our dollar value would be worth something, like right now it's maybe worth 4.5 cents, if that, in
Yeah,
real money.
it's not very much.
But people don't understand that. If gold would come back down to $26 to $32 an ounce, our dollar is worth it right at $1 then.
Hmm.
And we would have the buying power. In other words, you would see your gasoline would be 20 to 30 cents a gallon. You know, bananas would be 10 cents a pound. Potatoes would be a nickel a pound. We won't see that. But if we do go back on a silver and gold standard, it's gonna change the actual value because it's based on a dollar value. And that's why I keep telling people if the shit hits
Yeah,
the fan and the dollar crashes and you've got gold and silver, it's actually not worth what you think it is.
not for a while. And that's what I keep saying. When people talk about precious metals around me, I'm thinking bullets. You know what I
Right.
mean? This is going to be worth something. Food will be worth something. Water will be worth
Yeah.
something. But for a
Yeah.
while after that, because they're crashing our fucking economy, and
Yeah.
now they want to do this whole digital crap. Oh my
That
god.
is the worst thing that could ever happen to us. If we go digital, we are screwed. And
Hmm.
my prime example is that Bitcoin ransom that was paid for the pipeline. The FBI tracked it to this website, to that website, and some was skimmed off here and there, and then it reached its ultimate goal. And then they went in there and they broke the code and recaptured that Bitcoin and took it back from the hackers. The
Yep.
government will be able to do the same thing to you. I don't care how good of an algorithm you got or whatever. They can go in and they can bankrupt you with the push of a button. Or if there's no
Hmm.
power, there's no internet, an EMP pulse or whatever, you got
It's
nothing.
got
You,
zero
you
zilch.
can't access it. So, but that's the thing. They don't want people hiding dollar bills in their mattresses anymore that they can go out and spend for trade because they don't have a control over that.
I know. I mean, back in the day, I used to keep like at least $800. I'd keep a few $100 bills and then some 20s and stuff in tens and fives and stuff like that.
Right.
Um, those days are pretty much over for me. I mean, it's like I don't like not a whole lot of people still have the trust in the dollar bill. Like I said, man, that's why I invest in other things like food, ammo, stuff like that. You know what I mean? All right,
Right.
Zach. I saw you had your hand up. Go ahead, brother.
Cryptocurrency scares the holy hell out of me because of hackers and shit.
Yeah, and it should. Exactly. Yeah. What's to say? You know what if you got $1,500 or $15,000 in your crypto bank, and then all of a sudden fucking somebody's just like, you know what? Let's go hack this guy. Yeah. So yeah, it is scary. Totally scary,
Hi,
man.
Virginia.
But then again, Zach, you're the one that fucking hacked the pipeline anyway. So
I still say he looks like Anonymous to me.
I know, right? He's got
does.
that whole goatee thing
You
going.
got that beard and that red beard, and yeah, that's it. There it is, right there.
Hey, Virginia. Oh, you're driving home already. Wow, shit. All right, cool, Virginia. Have safe travels. Don't worry. Yeah, I'll be on. We just barely started, so we'll give you a couple hours of entertainment. At least that's what I'm working on. I always try and be entertaining.
Yeah.
So, hey, what's up, Roots? Militant Roots.
Not a lot of roots around. I want some tops.
Hey, what's up, Bug Dude? You hate banks with it? Yeah, you know what, Navy vet? I am not a big fan of them either. The only problem is, like right now, so many places, like even my rent, man. Oh God, Moose, did I tell you what my fucking communist fucking management is doing now?
About you told me about your backyard or some bullshit. Is there more?
Yeah, they want to inspect the front and backyard and go around and if there's anything out of place, they're going to charge me $75 to remove it. Well, all I've got out there is a futon that sometimes my kids use, sometimes my dog uses, and it's like it's out of sight.
It's lawn furniture. It's lawn furniture.
It's basically it's out of sight, out of mind. Right. So I'm holding judgment back, but I'm telling you, man, if these assholes try that, actually, I think tonight what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out. I'm going to put the padlocks on both of my gates.
Yeah.
And if they trespass on my property, I'm going to go out there with my damn shotgun.
No trespassing signs. That covers you.
Yeah. Well, I've got.
You need. I wish Ricky. I wish that them. Yeah. Well. I wish Ricky had more of those signs that he's got that has the U.S. code on it and it has the $5,000 per person access fee for any or part of one day that you can charge if they trespass on your land. And if two or more people do it, it's a conspiracy. And you can take them to court and you can collect that money. Because if they step on land that you're renting and you're in control of, they violated the law.
Absolutely. And this is, that's one of the other things I covered the other night, because like seriously, when they found that meth lab, that was the only thing that saved my ass when I went to court, was because the room was rented out to somebody else.
Yep.
And so, I mean, we've got pretty serious renters' rights out here. You can't just barge in to people's yards. Yep. Especially when they're paying you fucking, $700 a month in rent.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, big chap?
I have signs in both English and Spanish. It says no trespassing or prohibito El Paso.
I'm thinking about going out and buying some purple paint and just painting the front part of my fence all purple.
Now, is it your fence or is their fence?
It's mine.
Oh, okay.
We installed it. Like I said, man, we've been here like 40 freaking years, man. Yeah. That's why I'm so upset about this, man. Our last management, dude, they really didn't give two shits. I mean, like they were always like, we don't want you working on your vehicles. Well, they didn't want broken down cars, is what they didn't want. But if you're
Yeah.
working on your vehicle, they didn't give a crap. You know, it's like, okay, well, you know, instead of taking it to a shop, you want to do it yourself. That's
Yeah.
fine. You want to do your own home improvements? That's fine. But this new company, man, I'm telling you, they're coming out like total communist fucks, man.
No, just tell them, piss off, you know, and get all your park members together in the same way. Tell them all to piss off.
Well, I
And,
wish I could, but my next door neighbor already gave in, man. It's the only part that sucks, man. They cut down. He had a tree in front that kind of blocked the. He had trees in front that blocked the view in the front. Cut them all down. Now they've got a guy over there spraying the house, repainting the house, and I'm like, what in the hell are they doing, man?
yeah,
And all I can figure is either they sold the house or they were just like, oh man, we're just gonna buy into this communist crap.
yeah.
Me personally, no, I'm gonna wait for him to come up to my door and try and threaten me.
Just and see what they don't understand though, and most people don't research laws. The Supreme Court ruled many years ago, and I could look up the case, that associations have no power in the law. Not no homeowners association, not this association, not that association. They have no power in the law. It's
Well,
unenforceable bullshit.
now Tony, the only thing with that is like the only thing my dog would do is lick him to death. He's not an attack dog. He's not a guard dog. He's a big dog. He's like 95 pounds, but like he's just a big old lover.
Hey,
So,
Daniel, bro.
yeah. But
Boy, we got a good crowd here today.
trespass and find out.
My other sign says trespassers will be shot, survivors will be shot
Will be
again.
shot again. Yep, that's a good one. I like that one. What's up, Rob? How you doing, brother? Right out of New York City. New York City? Get a rope.
And then I got this one too. It says, I don't know if you
That's
can
what's
see it.
coming
It says, these premises are protected by a lunatic with a high-powered rifle.
Yeah, there you go. And Benjamin, that is actually kind of the point that I was coming to. Yeah, wait until this new management comes out and says, well, oh, if you don't have the vaccine or if you don't wear a mask, we're going to have to evict you.
Yep.
I don't. Now, granted, we don't have those mandates here, so technically, legally, they have no grounds to stand on that
Right.
one. But like seriously, they're trying to be tyrannical right now. Talking about going in my backyard. My backyard is off limits, motherfucker.
Right. Can
Yeah,
they see in
I
your
know
backyard?
I'm cussing.
Is it
I know I'm
is it a-
cussing more than I want to, but
is,
man,
is it a
these
chain? Is it a chain link fence or is it
Yeah.
a wood
it's
slat?
it's about a 5-foot chain link fence. Yeah.
Okay, well they can see in there. That's the only bad part. So
Well, they can to an extent. The only way they can really see into my backyard is if they're walking by my neighbor's house and happen to look over, and then all they can see is, like I said, they'll see the futon, and there's a couple of fake rocks. My uncle made them a long time ago. He was gonna use them to put like
It's
spotlights
Arizona.
in.
it's
Yeah,
Arizona.
he's
We
gonna
have
use-
rocks.
Well, the whole yard is rocks, but
Yeah.
it's like but it's a damn futon, and it's not like an eyesore or anything like that.
Outdoor furniture. It's outdoor furniture, and leave it at that. And tell them,
There you go.
can have outdoor. You can have outdoor picnic tables. You can have barbecue grills. Ain't none of that stuff illegal. It's what people do.
Yep.
It's my
That-
life,
you
not
know what?
yours. You have no right to impose your will on me. And that's what I tell them.
Exactamundo, man. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm thinking about just padlocking my backyard. And then, like I said, if they try and cut my locks or
Yeah,
try and jump the
that's
fence,
that's a criminal offense.
yep,
That's
and it
criminal.
will be prosecuted by a double lot buck.
No, you can just call the law and have them arrested.
Well,
Get
I
it
hold
on
them.
video. If you can
Well,
get
I
it
hold
on
them at
video,
10.
yep, get them on video. Well, that's bullcrap.
That's what I'm saying. It is bullshit. So, like I said, yeah, here in a little bit, I'll go out there. The I know that the padlocks are sitting right next to the locks,
Yeah,
so you know,
yeah.
I'll just lock it
Yeah,
up.
we need to sign. I wish Ricky would tell us where we. I tried to find them signs Ricky's got, and I can't find anybody that makes them Ricky four corners signs. That's the greatest sign ever. I wrote it out on my sign. $5,000 trespass fee. U.S. code.
Yeah, well, yeah, New York. That's just it. These sons of bitches are going around like an HOA, man. An HOA on fucking on communism.
Yeah, yeah. They
Bullshit.
tried that shit with that Marine in one place. Told him he couldn't fly the flag on his flagpole out at his house, so he painted his whole house with the American flag and said,
Yep, there you go. What are you gonna do?
"Yeah." But yeah, I mean, purple paint. You need to look up if purple paint is one of the no trespassing
Yeah, yeah,
signs in Arizona.
exactly. And,
I
and
know
it
it is.
does.
I looked it up. Each state, I looked it up for
It's
Texas, for
recognized.
Oklahoma.
It's
It's
recognized
legal.
in Arizona. Yep.
It's recognized, and then go get you a cheap can of purple paint there at the dollar store or something if you can find it, and
Just
start spraying and put up a
yep.
couple of trespassing signs.
Well,
You're covered.
Tony, the problem is okay because the last management owned this place for like over 35 years. And I mean, I got to know most of the people that all the maintenance people. I was friends with the management, everything like that. This new management, they want everything done. You got to transfer. You got to pay your rent digitally. They won't even take checks anymore. And I'm like, what? But yeah, they don't even take checks, man. This new
They sound
management,
like they're from California.
dude. I'm telling you, man. These communist fucks. I'm telling you. I don't know what their fucking deal is, but they're really starting to piss me off.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, Tony. I honestly, I that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna give him a little bit of leeway on this because I've got a futon in the backyard that you can't even see from the front driveway. You know what I mean? If you drive by it, you're not gonna see it. But now, if you've got a broken down vehicle in your yard or some crap like that, yeah, that's gonna stick out. But that's in the ghetto. That's in the back corner. That's where all the drug dealers and that's where all they live. Yeah. So yeah, maybe I'm getting a little bit too hyped up over nothing, because I'm sure they sent this letter out to everybody.
Yeah. I used to have a bullshit stamp. Well, I'd stamp shit like that, bullshit, and I'd put it back in an envelope and send it back to
Yeah, I crumpled mine up and threw it on the stove.
them. Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
landlord only takes checks or money orders. Yeah, see, and these guys want it all digital. Yeah.
So what are they going to do
Yeah.
about people that don't use digital, that may live there,
Yeah.
that use cash, or
Exactly.
check?
Yeah. Yep. Like New York just said, unless you agree to it by law, you have to accept cash.
Yeah.
Cash or check. And honestly, I mean, it makes sense. your bank account is set up to a checking system. Hey, all right, I don't like to keep that much cash on hand anymore, but maybe I don't want to pay digitally. Maybe I want to pay with a check. Um, I'm telling you, the sad part is this house is still under my mother's name. Okay, I've got to make this disclaimer. This house is technically under my mother's name. Now, has it passed from my sister to me? Yes. Okay. My sister had this house for like 10 or 15 years, and now she's in her own house, and then I got this house. I went from paying um, $800 a month for a single bedroom apartment into a trailer, a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom trailer, which is my old home, since I was like 11. And, and now I've got my 2 kids here, which eventually they'll end up taking over it if they decide to stay here. But, yeah, it's like just the way this is going is just pissed me off. And what are they gonna ask next? Maybe my one buddy was right. It's like maybe they're gonna, hey, if you don't have the vax, we're gonna have to kick you out. And I'll be like, no. I don't know how I don't know how this is gonna go.
That's when you find a lawyer that'll take your case on a contingency and you sue the dog shit out of them. And the lawyer gets.
Yeah, but I mean, come on, how long? Come on, we know how long fucking lawyers take.
It don't matter. How much? As long as you got a suit filed, they can't force you to do shit. You have to know the law. That's the way the laws work. So you file a lawsuit against them, it's basically like an injunction.
Well, I'll keep that in mind.
The only other way is to when they come in, invite them to your house, knock them in the head, load them in your truck, take them out to the desert, and have the hole already dug. You're in the desert, man.
I know. Don't get me started on that one. Don't get me started on that one now. No planning. Remember, that's one of my rules. No planning felonies online, okay? But
well, that's not a felony. That's a righteous act.
It's only if you get caught, right?
Yeah, right. Well, and I'm glad to see I was right. There was no tsunami last night. There was no big crash. The volcano is still going in the Canary Islands. There's not going to be no tsunami. And people don't understand how tsunamis work. That's over in shallow water, and it would have to cross 4,000 miles of too deep water trenches. The energy would dissipate before the East Coast or South America would get hit with any sizable tidal wave, because the energy is going to dissipate over that period because it goes out. It doesn't just concentrate in one area. It's going to spread, and it would spread out from Greenland to the southern tip of South America. So there's no cause for alarm for any tsunami, even if it slid off. Watching that area because I study volcanoes and earthquakes, and it's doing the same thing that it does in Hawaii. It's building a cone, but it's pouring lava out into the ocean, and it's forming more land there, and it's doing it at its own pace.
It had exploded. Yeah.
The time to worry is if it stops spewing that lava and it seals itself up and the pressure starts to build. Then you can get a pyroclastic explosion and flow, and that's where it can get dangerous. So, there's nothing to worry about.
By the way, everybody, there is super chat on this channel. By the way, I know a lot of you don't like to support the CommieTube, but and I don't blame you, but. Oh, I can always put my PayPal.
Put your PayPal up there. People can pay.
Yeah. You know what? And actually,
the 3% they take is nothing.
Yeah, this is how I'm gonna start doing my survival bracelets. Is you PayPal me, and send me your address, send me what colors you want, and what style you want. Like I said, I just got some new. I got some lime green in. I got more lime green in today because a lot of people like the lime green. I got hot pink in yesterday. Um, I still got plenty of black. I still got plenty of dark blue, dark red. I've got some brown coming in because a few of my friends wanted some brown and black. And then also I ordered some of the clasps that have the whistle and the compass and the striker, the flint striker. So
What do you got, Zach?
Honestly, if you have a lease or anything, they can't kick you out because the lease doesn't cover medical shit.
I know. Yeah, I know. I do actually.
It's too bad we can't talk about that link I sent you in the email earlier today. It's too bad we can't talk about that and the numbers.
Not on this.
That's an eye opener. Yep, that's an eye opener.
We're going near Tazewell. Okay. Okay, in Tennessee. Well, shit. Here in the next year or two, I might be living in North Carolina, folks. So
your kid's gonna stay there and take care of the trailer?
Yeah, that's what I plan. I mean, like I said, it's been in the family for like ever. So, I figure, when I'm done,
it's too bad your mom didn't buy a piece of property and put that on out, where you owned your own property, a couple of acres even there in Arizona, and a well and a septic tank and power and phone in. And then, you don't, and once by now it would be paid for.
Yep.
And you wouldn't have to worry about this kind of bullshit. That's why I hate renting. I've always hated renting all my life.
Yeah.
I've only rented a couple of places, but the price was right on them because I made a deal to fix up the places for the rent. So, and when I got married, I was renting up until the time I found a house to buy, and then I bought a house. So I've always wanted that my money to go into something that gives me equity. So if I do have to sell, I get my money back,
Well, the thing is my mom, when she moved, she only moved like a block away, but where she moved, they actually do own the land. Their house is paid off, the land is paid off. All they have is just tax, because government never lets you have anything for free. But
right.
But
taxes still aren't that much. I mean, I hear all these people bitching about paying taxes. Well, it'd be fine to not pay taxes. It's all we had was gravel roads, and you didn't get any services. You didn't get water. You didn't get sewer. None of that stuff. That it takes money to make that stuff. So you have to pay for that.
What's up, Tennessee?
Otherwise, if it was just back in the old days where we didn't pay taxes and you had gravel roads to beat everything up, and that's one thing. But in the long scheme of things, a certain amount of taxes is not bad to maintain a better quality of life.
Yeah, maybe to an extent. But if you don't pay it, you shouldn't have armed gunmen come to your freaking door telling you got to leave.
Well, I've never had armed gunmen come to my door. Yeah, I've never had that. All they do here is if you don't pay your taxes for 2 years, they sell a tax lien on your property to somebody, and if you don't catch up that tax lien, eventually then they own your property by paying off that tax, which is kind of a shitty deal, but there's like a 2 to 4 year process. I know some people in Florida that got land because of that.
Still theft.
Yeah, in
You're
New
never,
York, like Aaron
you're
said,
never,
35 years to take property.
Moose, I love you, brother, but you're never ever going to change my mind. Taxation is fucking theft. Period. Plain and simple. They don't deserve a right to any of our property.
Well, I understand that, but at the same time, look what your property tax pays for. Here it pays for my road maintenance, it pays for my police protection, it pays for other infrastructure that, I mean, I don't like to travel on gravel roads and beat my vehicle up. I like having a phone line in my coming to my house. I like having police protection. I like having water lines coming to my house so I don't have to worry about my pump going out and not being able to have water and having to put out all that kind of money at one time to fix that. So there's a balancing point. And I mean, you have your opinion, I have mine, but there ain't no free lunch in this country. That's the thing.
No,
You're
no.
actually getting a deal if you think about it.
Well, it kind of depends on the deal. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
if you're out in the middle of nowhere, and like say every year they want $150 for tax. I mean, I can kind of almost understand that one because, I mean, if that's all you're paying for your rent for your entire property, I mean, I can understand that. But if they start getting too high on that shit, or like Knight's Armory said, that one, the payroll tax, yeah, that one
Yeah.
is fucking criminal.
Yeah.
Yeah, payroll tax is absolutely.
I personally think this country needs just a consumption tax. In other words, it's based on what you purchase. So
Yep.
that the poor people that don't buy that much pays a smaller amount of tax than the rich people that go out and buy these big fancy cars and yachts. They would pay a higher percentage of tax. It would be equal to all as basically a sales tax. But I don't believe, federal income tax. I don't like paying property taxes, but I understand why I have them. I don't like paying school tax here because I don't have kids in school. But at the same time, the money has to come from somewhere. And if there's not enough people with kids to just pay the bill, everybody chips in because we want to see kids educated. I mean, I have nothing against education, even though they may not be doing it right in other parts of the country. They're doing it right here.
Now, see, that's where I would draw the line because there's a difference between education and indoctrination. I mean, if you really have a good school there, I mean, because like I know the schools that my kids went to when my oldest son was in high school, they were teaching him. Well, then again, he went to Votech for half of it, so he was just getting HVAC training for half of his high school career. But it's like, but at least during the time he was there, they were teaching him math and I think they were teaching him proper history, stuff like that. None of this indoctrination crap. But it's just because I live in a conservative
Here
area.
our schools are teaching that. Here our schools even have a trap shooting program. Oklahoma has some pretty good schools, and the parents keep up, and they go to the school board meetings, and they're involved in their children's education. We don't have all this woke crap. We don't have all this transsexual stuff. We don't have it. We've got good old-fashioned country type schools here, so I don't mind chipping in a few bucks for my kids. And actually, our property taxes here in Oklahoma, we pay a sales tax at the local town next door of 10%. Now, I will drive to Texas, and I don't have to pay that 10% on my groceries in Texas. I don't like it that they tax groceries here. They should not tax groceries, and water should not be taxed. We don't tax water here with our water company. But so I'll go to Texas and I'll save that tax money, which gives me pays for my trip and saves me a lot of money when we buy, once every couple of months. Our property tax here, actually, being in a lot of places like Florida, you get a homestead exemption where they deduct the first $25,000 worth of your property off, and they give you a break. Here in Oklahoma, when you reach a certain age or you're disabled, you get a hell of a break on your property taxes. So on our 9 acres here with a house and my shop and everything else, our property taxes are about $300 a year. Under 400. So
that's fair.
That's not bad. Yeah.
What's your utility?
What I hate is we have very cheap electricity here on PSO power. It's I've tried to calculate it out. They don't give you a kilowatt hour thing, but it's around 5 or 6 cents a kilowatt. Our bill running air conditioner all the time is $150, $160 a month, with everything running, refrigerators, freezers, lighting, microwave, coffee pot, stuff like that, meat processing equipment, whatever's running, plus the lights in my shop, the ventilation fan. So that's not too bad. Our water bill runs from about $30 to $42 a month, depending on the gallons that we use. I have a septic, so I don't have a waste bill. Our phone line is about $100, $150 a month with having a landline phone. So the utilities are not that bad here.
Hey Ron, check your email, dude. First Amendment. That is too funny. You said that. No education today. I still don't know what sex I am. Well, I'll give you a quick tip then.
That's easy to tell.
Next time you go to the bathroom, just look between your legs. If you've got an innie, then you're a girl. If you got an outie, then you're a guy. So.
And if you get a tiny outie, you're going to get laughed at.
Yeah, well, you're going to get laughed at either way, but.
I made Zach laugh. I love it.
Hey, what's up, Ron?
Hey, Dangerous. How you doing, brother?
Good
Boostman,
Zach. Your fire department gets paid. Hey, Ron.
Hey, Moose. How you doing?
I'm hanging in there, fighting for my life.
That's all we can do right now.
Hey, Josh.
What's up, Joe?
Zach. Yeah, I didn't see my email, Dangerous. So.
Oh, that's all right. I sent it to you. Well,
about an hour ago. Yeah.
yeah, about an hour ago. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I had to do the practice lab at school. I got to do a retake on a major skill set. So yeah. Let me hit the light.
Is that where you removed the appendix?
No, that's the nurse practitioner stuff. That's above my pay grade.
Oh, all right, Tennessee. You have a good one, man. Get your ass back to work, man. And like I said, email or PayPal me if you want one of these bracelets. Just send me your size, colors, and like I said, I got new clips coming in. They've got, like I said, whistle, compass, and fire starter, fire or flint, whatever thingy on them. So.
Yeah, Moose Man, I was listening to you talk about how things were paid for things, how the rich can be taxed. If everybody paid like taxes on stuff that was purchased. That reminds me, that's how this country ran well before the Federal Reserve was enacted back in 1913.
Yep.
Devil of
Right.
Jekyll Island.
Yep.
Yep.
But now
right.
that we're a fascist nation, and I mean, like, seriously, all these freaking Antifa little punks that are out there, oh, we're anti-fascist. Like, dude, you're living in a fascist nation because the government and the corporations have done this number. You know, they're in bed with each other, and so it's like you're just so full of shit you don't even understand. But whatever. You know, trying to get through to some of these people, like I said, indoctrinated idiots. What can you do?
Well, people gobble up so much bullshit that's disguised as filet mignon. It makes my head explode sometimes. And I
Yep.
see it in your chat. I see it on other sites. People believe people are so gullible they can't even use common sense anymore to realize they're being fed bullshit. And I'm always kidding with top spin to fire up the grill because I hear so much of it. And people that don't understand science, they don't understand energy, they don't understand, just because something is said on the internet doesn't make it so. Do your own research.
Yeah, Moose Man. The common sense is so rare. It's like a superpower.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Hey, what's
so
up,
many
bro?
people fall for the CIA disinformation campaign that is out there that is so distracting to everybody. They've got people believing in magical rays that we don't have. They've got people believing that, like I said, HARP. I've been fighting over the HARP project because I worked at HARP, and it's not going to control the weather. It can't control the weather because they left out one word: space weather. It only affects 30 miles up. It doesn't affect anything in our atmosphere where clouds are and storms and stuff. But people still believe that HARP controls the weather, and HARP ain't even been fired off now in over 2 years. It's been shut down. So, I mean, it's just amazing to me that people don't even go look and find out.
So do you think it's just a common occurrence, or I mean, because like last year, Arizona was almost completely dry. We had almost zero rain. This
Right.
year we got 84, like 87, 84% more rain. We had flash floods like crazy. It was outrageous, but it's like we were supposed to be in some kind of a drought. And
Right.
it's like we had so much rain this year so far. It's like, well, yeah, I don't think we got to worry about no damn drought now. So,
Global weather patterns change every year. Global weather patterns change. It depends on, like, the warmth of the Pacific Ocean in the southern part versus the northern part. The Atlantic Stream, the Gulf Stream that brings warm air and water up to Greenland and Iceland. We have a jet stream that moves up and down. It changes uh, annually. Right now, we're also being affected by the sun because of the solar flares and the sunspots and the solar energy we've got. I'm trying to tell people. I've been researching this for over 30 years, and I was one of the scientists that discovered that when we're in this time period, we have more volcanoes, we have more earthquakes because of the solar gravity pools that hit our Earth. They work similar to what the moon does. If you understand, the moon makes tides because of a gravitational pull on our oceans. Okay, that's what makes tides.
I like what Grandma said here.
It
everyone
also affects the dirt on our Earth.
I like what Grandma said here. If everyone is a lying sack of crap, what research is truly valid? That right there, Grandma.
You go to universities. You go to universities and true studies of the actual scientists that are doing the research, and you read the research reports and what they're doing. And like last night, I went on the NOAA site and showed people there is no tsunami alert. Well, oh, tsunami's coming in 10 hours. No, there would be a big alert if there was a tsunami coming. There's not. That's NOAA. It's a government site, but it's a
Hey,
weather
welcome
site.
back, Angie.
And,
Oh, yeah. You're
but the
you're
thing
talking.
about it is
Oh, you're the other one. Yeah.
but the thing about it is our Earth is affected by so many things that causes weather pattern changes, moisture. Like last year in Oklahoma, it rained all freaking summer long. This year, we haven't had rain. Now we're supposed to get rain the next few days. We haven't had rain in weeks, and we've been up in the 190, 95, 100, 110 degree category here.
Yeah.
But last year, we were soaked. I mean, it was 6 out of 7 days we had nothing but rain here. Now
Yep.
the jet streams move. Now we
Yep.
get cold. We get cold fronts come in and meet the hot weather coming off of Texas and off the Gulf, and we get rain. Go back and look at weather records for 100 years back, where they started keeping records, and you'll see that. Well, maybe in 1910, Arizona was at 125 degrees. Well, and then the next year, maybe it didn't get up to 90 degrees. Well, then 30 years later, it's up to 114 degrees and getting all kinds of rain. And then the next year, it's not. So, I mean, I've seen snow in Florida. I've seen sub-zero temperatures in Florida. Who would think? But I was a kid. I seen it. I lived it. I was out hunting. It's not the norm, but it's what happens as weather patterns change and as the jet
Yeah.
stream moves and highs and low pressures come in. So
No,
and the oceans have a lot to do with it because of the
you're 100% right, man. It's just like with our ice ages. You know, our ice ages.
right.
We didn't just have one ice age. This world, this Earth has had many ice ages. You know, there may be a time where
Right.
Russia is like tropical, and America is frozen over tundra. You know, like Siberia or some crap. You know, it's just
I can take people up to Alaska to the top of mountains and show them where Alaska was tropical, all up in the tundra. It was all tropical up in Alaska before the big ice ages, and the ice came down over the top of the United States. That also forced the migration of the Native American type people. Now, some of the people like the Eskimos, they were able to adapt and later on and adapt to that environment and learn what to eat and what foods were available as things, started thawing out. But I mean,
Yep.
you can't just judge this year saying, "Oh, it's global warming, it's global this, it's climate change."
Exactly.
If the climate didn't change daily, Ron, we wouldn't have weathermen up there telling you what the weather's going to be for the next 5 days.
Or trying to tell us. That's just it. They're trying to tell us. But man, it's like, oh no, it's gonna be, the whole week it's gonna be 95 degrees, 96 degrees, and then all of a sudden, boom, we get a fucking monsoon come in, and it's like, oh shit, well, we didn't see that one coming,
Right.
But
no, I mean, look, we've had hurricanes. Look, we've had hurricanes off the coast of Florida that sunk all the Spanish galleons back in the 1700s. So we know we've had hurricanes back into the 1600s every year because of weather patterns. Oklahoma's had tornadoes.
Hobo put up a good one. There's been plenty of times when Milwaukee winter temperatures were extremely lower than even Anchorage.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
it was colder in Oklahoma that day. It was 10 below zero in Oklahoma that day, and it was 0 in.
Hey, Susanna.
Inches of snow here in Oklahoma. That man, I felt right at home. Nobody's laughing because I brought my Arctic gear to Oklahoma now. You got to be prepared.
Yep. Go ahead, Zach.
Hey guys, thank you for having me on. I need to go get some stuff done. Love you all, and I'll see you tonight.
Okay,
All
Zach.
right, Zach.
You have a good one, man. Thanks for hanging out with us. Stay away from that peanut butter.
Yeah.
What was that? Hold on. That the Earth don't care what we think. She does what she wants. Absolutely. Yep. And
Right.
she is going to do what she wants.
George Carlin said the earth can shake us off like a bad case of fleas. The
That they
reason we're
could.
here is it needed plastic. The earth couldn't make plastic. Now that we've got plastic, the earth can shake us off at any time. George Carlin.
Bushido. Zach's gone. I don't want to live. I know Zach is a lot of fun, but you know he is a busy guy, man. You know he's a programmer.
Yeah.
I forget, what does he program?
Well, he right now he's designing for the guy that owns YouTube. Damn, I can't remember his
He
name.
writes
I think.
code. He writes
Yeah.
code for apps and
Yep.
websites and integrations and all. Zach is a computer whiz.
Yep.
I wish
He's
I knew
making it.
half of what he knew.
I'm telling you, man.
Oh,
He's
here comes trouble.
yeah. He's one of the smartest guys up here. Absolutely.
Hey, I
Hey,
wanted to.
Dusty.
How you doing, man? The tax thing it's a weird notion because when I was growing up, and to a certain point, I actually went truck driving, and I was able to create my own business. Right? I had no idea about taxes, not really, for the full sense of it. So now that I reached that level, I started realizing I don't get a tax refund ever. I just pay it in. I don't get one back. Once you hit a certain level, they take more money. So once you hit, I think it's above $250,000. Once you hit $250,000 a year, you don't get tax refunds.
No,
That
they add
sucks.
up. It goes up to 33 or 35% or something.
Yeah, and the more if you made a couple million, then they take almost 41%.
Oh, good grief.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're getting really close to half. The more they want to tax the rich,
Yeah, but what does that do to us people down here on the bottom? Because now they've got to charge more for the goods that they're shipping or selling or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean?
It's trickle
Dude,
down.
none of it.
Trickle down.
The super
Yeah,
rich doesn't pay
it-
taxes.
Trickle down economics, but it's like our government is just like, oh, we'll tax the rich, just like when AOC went out there in that fucking nice old fancy dress, into a $30,000 a plate fucking dinner, and it's like tax the rich. It's like, yeah, what? Tax them because then we're gonna have to pay more for everything in the process. Our government is just so screwed right now.
Well, it's basically, in my understanding, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. It's gone this way, and it's supposed to be trickle down, but it's not. Greed is keeping it from being trickled down, so they raise the taxes because they're not going to voluntarily pay it out. And that's reality.
And what
right there.
most people though, Dusty, what most rich people though understand is they can shelter their taxes with investments and businesses and write-offs. So that's where the loophole is. Now, if we did
That's
away
where
with
they'll-
that, and
Yeah, and that's why they increase the taxes on them, because they can shelter those.
right, and now like Biden wants to tax the middle class with an inheritance tax that if you
And we lost them.
from your if you're inherit from your parents or whatever, They want to charge you a big tax on, which is a tax on basically the middle class and lower class of anything you inherit now. Biden wants to raise that tax level up sky high. Everything they can look at to try and get money out of your pocket, they are looking at.
Yep. I'm surprised they haven't done away with Social Security and Medicare already.
If they do
It's
that, there will be war, because I got no reason to live then, because I can't work and I got no money. I worked all my life for my Social Security. So you'll see one mad, pissed off moose if that happens, and a bunch of millions of other seniors too. The wheelchair brigade will be headed to Washington, D.C.
Yeah, it's a funny way to because the more money you make, let's say, like, I'm trying to get y'all to understand. I was in the trailer park, I was on the bottom. I wasn't born from money. My father hasn't passed away. He's still alive, and his business he's retired now. So I don't get any of that. I didn't want a piece of the construction business. I went and started my own business. And being that I started my own business, I was very successful in it, and I did it with my wife. But coming from no money and finally getting money, oh my God, I was so happy. I was feeling good, secure. And then the more I make, I'm like, oh my God, I'm really not making as much as I should be making. I have to pay it all in taxes. And everything that I bought that they said to take off, they'll write it off, wasn't that much. I got a pool table one year. I was able to write it off. Anything it takes my mind off of trucking, I could write it off. But it wasn't enough. I still paid 35% of my income.
Right.
And the business income too. I had to pay the taxes from the businesses, and then my part of that, because you got to keep that separate when you're running a business.
Now there will be ways legally to get around this bullshit inheritance tax deal, and people are going to have to go do some paperwork, and they're going to have to do like tenants of survivorship on property and stuff, so that instead of an inheritance, they just become the owner of the property when the other party dies.
It'd be like
called an inheritance.
What do they call that? It's basically that's what they call a trust fund, right?
Well, it's joint ownership. In other words, so you can do it with your whole family. In other words, that keeps it going perpetually as tenants of survivorship. So, like if your mom put you in as a tenant on that trailer, and put your sons in, then if she dies, you get it. If you die, your sons get it. It's passed down automatically without going through probate and going through an inheritance that would get taxed. So there's legal loopholes. You got to learn all of it. The rich people have set this stuff up. You just got to know what they did, so you can use their tools to your advantage, being poor, lower, middle class, whatever.
What's up, Mom?
Not much, sweetie.
You don't have a loaded dildo with you, do you?
No.
Okay.
Like my mom one time had to send each of us boys $10,000 to avoid a tax thing on some money she got through a life insurance and through the teachers union when my stepdad died and his retirement and stuff. She had to she could give us legally $10,000 a piece years ago, and she wasn't taxed for that amount. I mean, the loopholes are out there, but God, it takes a lot of research to find them. And a good CPA that's worth his salt knows most of the stuff, but a lot of them, they don't even know.
Yeah, the most they know is tax codes, if and all.
And the tax code changes yearly, it looks
Yep.
like.
Oh, yeah, well, they change all the laws. I mean, like, seriously, it's almost impossible to keep up on all the damn laws because they change them quicker than most people change their damn underwear.
Right.
Yeah, it's disgusting, man. I can't stand it. And every law that they pass is another right that is stripped from we the people. And I see it. I see it directly for what it is. It's corruption. It's tyranny. But a lot of people are just like, oh, but it's for our security and our safety. And it's like, you're an idiot. That's exactly what I want to say. You're a freaking idiot.
What I would think would be cool is if we could try to play with it. And that's all we can really do right now. And see what we could actually come up with in establishing a new way of doing things. Like how would we reform schools? Just start something simple.
Yeah.
How can we reform schools? How can we reform the justice system?
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if we could get the justice system to actually work for we the people again, yeah, that would be a big game. That would be the game changer. Period. Right there.
It's awful funny that the Catholic Church has made billions of dollars off of 10% tithes that the people pay. Why can't the government just do a 10% tax on everything? Do away with property tax. Do away with income tax, and charge a 10% sales tax on everything you buy. And that way, if you don't have a lot of money, you're not buying. The rich people that are buying would pay that 10%. If they spend $1 million on a new yacht, they're going to pay $100,000 in tax.
And you look at that as the trickle down economics, then, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think personally,
it would be a fair tax because it covers the amount of money you have versus the amount of money you spend as a taxation, not taxing you when you make it, then taxing you when you spend it, then taxing you at your property every year. That's taxation on taxation on taxation, and that's where it's not fair to me.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but what Mooseman was saying, that has been proposed before, but the idiots in the domed building, if you will, they did not want that, and you have to ask why. Why? Because they knew they couldn't get out of spending getting charged that tax on stuff they bought.
Exactly.
I think it's kind of hard to see it for what it truly is. Even me, I'm not trying to glamorize or gloat or anything. I want you guys to understand when I say that about the money. When I had that much money, I did not want to give anybody my money. You got to understand that. I've never had money before. So when you see $250,000 in your bank, the first thing you're saying is, thank God I'm relieved of the stress of worrying about it now. And then all of a sudden somebody steps in and takes a huge chunk out of that, man. And it's like just a slap to reality, and it's like a lot of it goes towards socialist programs that I don't agree with.
Right.
But not all programs are socialists.
Right.
It's like one big mushroom stamp on the forehead.
Oh my God!
Look at it this way, okay, Dusty. If you make $25,000 a year and it wasn't taxed, in other words, you made $25,000 a year.
That is too damn funny.
And paid your insurance and stuff, and that. Then the money that you had left would be the money that you could spend on, say, groceries and cars and stuff like this. Okay, so if you were putting $5,000 of that away, and that you've got about $15,000 to spend. So out of that $15,000, if there was a 10% tax and you spent $15,000 that year, you would pay $1,500 in taxes. So you can scale that right up to that millionaire that would be doing the same thing. And if he's spending $500,000 and putting half in the bank, and he's spending $500,000, guess what? He's going to pay $50,000 in tax for that $500,000 he spent. If he spends $900,000 of it, he's going to be paying $90,000 tax. So it works out that everybody pays an equal share to what money they have to spend for their lives and for what they purchase.
Oh, Watchful. Yeah, don't get me started on that one. Actually, Watchful, check your email, man. If you want to pop up here, man, you're more than welcome.
I just
Yeah,
think
that's
the tax code book is like super thick, and
Yep.
even the
You can
guy
throw
who
that
wrote it
away.
says he doesn't
You
even
can throw all
understand it.
that away.
Have you seen
Dude,
the
yeah,
guy?
You can throw
did
all
you,
that away. You can stop the
Dusty,
income tax.
Dusty, did you see that fucking bill, this new $3.5 trillion bill that they had out there? And one of the senators came out and he had the freaking bill all in single pages, and he's like, it was like this thick, and he's like, now basically for each page is about $1.5 billion. That's how much that bill is worth. And it's like, and they don't, I mean, do you think Nancy Pelosi read that thing?
No, they
Hell,
don't read that stuff.
you
They got
think
interns that read it.
no, do you think Chuck read? No. Dude, the thing is thicker than like 10 Bibles put together. Of course they're not reading that thing.
just
No,
just
they get,
imagine if we had somebody on our side throwing in a little amendments to the spending bill here and there that just totally annihilated the left's spending, and the left voted for it, and boom, try and get the spending under control. I mean, that's what it takes. Nobody reads squat. That's the problem.
yeah. I mean, we're bleeding money out. Really,
The other law
the
we
country's bleeding money.
Bleeding.
The
We're
other
in
law
full
we should have
hemorrhage
is
mode.
no money should be going to foreign countries. Money should stay in the United States for the United States. If there's some disaster and we want to send food over to a country and send construction crews to help them out, that's one thing. But sending like leaving them connexes full of billions of dollars for the Taliban and brand new crisp $100 bills. I mean,
And
there was enough
rifle,
to give everybody in the United States $10 to $100,000 per family, and yet they left it for the Taliban, and they were showing off. Look at all the money the Americans left us, along with $80 billion worth of equipment. Jesus Christ!
Yep.
Who are these people
Yep.
in our government that ain't got a brain God gave a piss ant?
Communists.
yep,
It just blows my mind.
that would be my thought.
Well, basically, we've lost control and we've lost connection with our politicians, and I believe our politicians are. I think they're treating us like the English treated their subjects. They're
Yep.
saying they have nobility, so they got to treat us like children. That's why when they wanted to see if we would during the gas hike during Obama, we'll raise the price up to about $5 a gallon, right? That'll keep everybody from driving everywhere. Nah, we just paid the money. Bitched about it, but we paid the money. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
But we
they said,
spent
okay,
less on
so
the goods.
this is where I think they're using what we're going through now, where they're using it to their advantage to keep us from driving all over the place. Is going to hurt the tax refund, because if you're not working, you're not going to get a refund. And I'm
Yep.
pretty sure they're going to make you pay back the money from the unemployment payments they're giving people. I'm pretty sure it's going to come back. You owe the government for the unemployment for the emergency. We can't run our government without your money. That it just enslaved
Actually,
us.
those stimuluses, Dusty, those stimuluses came with a thing saying they were tax exempt. They aren't. The IRS is not supposed to charge for getting that stimulus money. Was supposed to be tax exempt.
But they can change the rules anytime they like, though, right?
Yep.
They
That's
seem
the
to.
scary
Yeah,
thought.
they can.
Yep.
That's a scary notion.
Yep. They do it all the damn
And
time.
we can change the rules too. Thing is, we can
Well-
change the rules too. They just haven't pushed us to flipping the switch from safe.
Yep.
Fun switch. Giggle switch.
The school system is where it really lies for our kids right now, and it has failed us for the past couple decades, man. They actually just reformed the school system here in Florida. I think it was 2 weeks ago or a week ago. Our governor said they're getting rid of that, whatever that school thing is.
mask mandate or whatever.
Oh no. It was about the program, the educational program. They're taking the federal program out of it because it's not doing our kids any good. They're getting dumber. And it's like, hey, did you know 2 and 2 makes 5? Or 2 plus 2 makes 5.
Yeah.
That's
I was
the
a
thing
substitute teacher in my city, and that Common Core math that they had me teaching those kids, it's like, what the fuck? I mean,
That was
all
it.
of us
Common
grew
Core,
up.
yeah.
All of us here grew up. The number column. You had your ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, and so on and so on. And I'm trying to teach these third or fourth graders how to do basic multiplication. You know, you had 365 times 25, and I got it lined up in the numbers column, and they're going, "We don't do that." I go, "What do you mean you don't do that?" "We do the lines, sticks, and cubes." I'm going, what? So they showed me. I'm going, this is nuts.
Oh my God.
Dude,
I go, guys.
I know exactly what you're talking about, man. I went through the same thing because I was always really good at math when I was in school. And so when my son needed a little bit of help with his math homework, I went in there and I was like, okay. And I was like, all right, well, you got this equation. You do it like this. And he's like, no, Dad, I've got to do it like this because this is the common core method. And I'm like, what in the hell? You make a
Who came
simple
up with that
math
bullshit?
problem into this big old long equation. And
Yeah.
oh man, I was just like, are you freaking kidding me now? Oh, I was so
Ron,
pissed.
What gets
I don't
me,
think I've ever
what-
talked to Ron
what
Stryker
gets
before.
me-
but- Go ahead.
What gets me, Dusty, is people cannot count change back at a cash register. And if you say it comes up to $3.16 and you give them $3.25 or $5.25, they sit there and it blows their mind unless they can punch it in that cash register and see how much change you give you back. They can't reach in there and do it by thought, and that just blows my mind that they cannot count change. That's how bad our education has been on mathematics, and this whole world is run on mathematics.
Absolutely ridiculous.
I dealt with that in Ohio. The power went out at the truck stop, and I was hungry, so I pulled in there and I'm going to KFC, and they said, "Well, the computers hadn't come back on." I said, "Well, I know what I want." He said, "Well, I can't do it." I said, "I'll pay up the price that's up there, and I'll do the taxes for you." Well, how do I know you're going to do it right? Look, man, I'll give you a couple of dollars more. Just give me my food. I'm hungry. You know, he just could not understand writing it on a piece of paper or using a calculator to calculate the taxes. That's all it was.
And the sad part is, a lot of people don't even know what the tax is in their county. What part of Ohio were you in, Dusty?
Oh, shoot. You had to ask me that one.
Yeah,
Obetz?
sorry. What?
Obetz.
Obetz. North, south, east, or west?
Hey, Cashew. Thank you very much for that.
Were you off of 75?
Now you got me thinking again. No, I was on 70, I think.
70.
Yeah. Usually I was usually heading east and west coming out of Ohio.
Oh, okay.
Obetz is
Obetz, Ohio, huh?
it's on the east side of, I want to say, Cincinnati.
I think Arizona is still right around 6%.
No, actually, that's south of Columbus. I'm not surprised.
As soon as I came off the road, man, the last thing I want to do is think about it again. I don't even have a GPS in my pickup truck. But that Common Core math, though, I don't understand it unless they're trying to get kids to do equations in an earlier stage. Because we did calculus in 7th grade, and in 6th grade we were already doing algebra. You know.
Yep.
Yeah, same here.
I didn't do calculus. I did geometry. I did algebra. And actually, I was so good at
I
math.
had everything but
that
calculus.
Basically, after about 9th grade, I passed algebra 2, and I never had to do math. I did sign up for calculus, and I went to the first class, and the guy was like, well, you're going to have homework every night. And I was like, well, screw this. I just got up and walked out, man. I went right to the counselor. I was like, no, I'm not doing this class. I did that
Well,
with a couple of classes, but
That was one of the tests at our machine shop to get a job at the machine shop I worked at. If you couldn't do the math, you couldn't do the machining. And because we had signs up saying machinists wanted. If you only know CNC, keep on going. Because we
Lock up, take a drink.
no doubt, right?
we did hands-on job shop, and everything was not cut and dried, in other words, but you had to do the math to know how to machine that part and build it and true it and whatever it took. And if you couldn't do the math, you're wasting our time.
As well as being able to read a micrometer and a ruler. Hell, I was teaching high school kids.
Tens of thousandths of an inch.
I was teaching high school kids. None of them could read a friggin' ruler, either both metric or SAE or a regular English ruler or standard ruler. Yeah.
Good
Oh,
grief.
that would have made my dad mad. You can't read tape measure?
Man. Oh, yeah. That was one of the first things I taught my kids.
My dad used to teach a shop class back when I was a kid. And he had all his fingers, by the way.
Yep.
I still
And
got all
carpenters
10.
always think they have more than they do because they call it a 2x4, but it measures 1.5 inches by 3.5. So carpenters always think they have more than they really do.
Well, actually, at one time, those 2x4s were actually 2x4.
Yep.
They just cut them down for the foreign markets.
I have done rough sawn.
I was making a size joke for Ron.
I know, but no, yeah, I've worked on both. I've worked on both.
Were you still working when they changed the size of the plywood? It's like 30 seconds now or something.
Yeah.
1930 seconds.
Well, let's see. It was we called it half inch, but it was like 7. Oh God, what was it? 1730 seconds. I mean, yeah.
15, 30 seconds. 15, 30 seconds.
Something like that.
They
Yeah.
changed it off to give you less and charge you more.
Yeah.
Which hopefully the prices of wood is coming down now. It's supposed to be.
Well, I've got wood for free if you want some.
got
Okay, all right, Grandma. I know. All right. I know we're not after dark yet, but.
But yeah, I just wanted to throw my 2 cents about the educational system. You know, it is literally so messed up. I don't believe in it anymore.
Yep.
It definitely needs to be reformed from the ground up and get rid of that Common Core. Unless there's another reason for it, they need to tell us what it's for. It does not jive with what we know as parents. You know, thank God Danny's out of school.
Yeah. That
It takes 10 times as long to do an equation. It takes 10 times as long to do an equation. It makes no sense.
Exactly. And, and it's like, well, my oldest boy, he's almost 17 now. He's almost a junior in high school. And it's like, well, the only thing that I keep him in there for is because I believe that the school is still doing the job that they're supposed to do. Because, like I said, we've got a lot of parents that are out there making a lot of freaking noise, but not in the district I'm in. Because the district I'm in, we're conservative. We've got conservative teachers. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't have to worry about him going to some kind of educational camp, basically, would be what it would boil down to, I guess.
Well, I got to ask Ron. Ron, do you believe that it might be possible that this may be the foundation to rolling out maybe some type of quantum physics in high school later down the road?
No. When I was in college, granted, I was not the brightest bulb on the string when it came to mathematics. I took a class, the philosophy of the physics of space and time. I was, a sci-fi, nut back in the day. And I thought, okay, I got to take a philosophy class required for my bachelor's degree. Sure, why not? The mathematics required, these guys were doing quantum mathematics. This was beyond trigonometry. I took a class in technical mathematics 2, which was for the electrical engineering classes. I've had that. Didn't do so well, but at least I tried. But I never had the headaches trying to wrap my brain around what these guys was doing in the physics class. I mean, that was quantum mathematics. And I tell you what, the stuff that Common Core math that they're teaching kids now, hell, they can't even count change right if they're doing Common Core math. So no, this was a plan, in my opinion, and my opinion only. This is my opinion. I think it was designed to destroy the education system in the United States. And not only that, I wanted to also throw in, each time a program is tossed up to a board of education, like a state board or a federal agency like that, it's always coming from a organization, and it's how should I put this? It's copyrighted, so you have to pay for that program, and somebody is getting paid somewhere that came up with this Common Core math. When did Common Core math come out?
Obama?
Bingo!
Yeah.
Somebody got paid. Look at all these book deals that these jokers have been writing out lately. I was in like that one joker that was leaking all that information during Trump's administration. He came out with a book deal. The book didn't sell, but he got $1 million. You had all kinds of Obama's cronies. They got book deals. Did the book sell? No. It's a form of bribery.
Now, if you take I'm in Florida, so if you take a look at Florida, and like I said, in the past 2 weeks, I want to say within the month, our governor literally had teachers come up that actually did the statistical studies on individual kids, and this is how they were able to say Common Core don't work for Florida. And he wrote it. He got rid of it last week.
Thank God.
Excellent. Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
I was raised in Florida, Dusty. I was born in Polk County, and I went. I graduated. I went all through school, and even vocational technical school there out of Lakeland, Florida. I was born and raised in Bartow, and I had my whole schooling, and I graduated in '73. I went on to Alaska in '84, and I took college courses up there, and then was involved with the University of Alaska Fairbanks, deep into the physics, geology, space weather, and all that stuff. And yeah, you start talking about quantum physics and the quantum mathematics. I had everything except calculus. I've done trig and geometry and all that, and I've got a very mathematical mind, a very quick mind. But even some of that theoretical math was even tough for me to understand unless you had somebody sit there and actually try and break it down.
Yes, it's something for sure, because you look at what they've taken out of school. Since my father, he was the one that had to teach me about civics in school because they weren't teaching it in high school.
Nope. Yep. Not in my school either. I had a basic government class, and I graduated back in '90, and we just barely learned how the government operates, how it's structured. That was it. I had to basically teach myself.
But what they did have that I did go through was criminal justice.
Oh.
So they took civics out and put criminal justice in place.
What we had, and you had to pass even to get a GED, I found out, was the communism class. Was Americanism versus communism, and they've taken that out now.
Well, I see. Okay, we believe in capitalism in America. That's what gives us our ability to think freely, is because we're innovative. The human mind. Ron came up with an awesome capitalist idea: make bracelets. That's a capitalist idea, and I supported. I shouted you out on my channel. Told people when I was having a live last night. I said, "Hey, go over to Dangerous Freedoms. He's actually got bracelets for sale." So I'm shouting you out, man. Trying to send people your way too. So I'll keep doing it.
Right on. Yeah.
I believe in capitalism, man. It gives you, because let's say you don't stop there. You know what I'm saying? So you come up with another idea because of this. That's
Yep.
how capitalism works. You're going to see a need for
Yep.
it. You know what? This would work for that.
Oh, I wanted to throw out something. Somebody mentioned in the chat. Big chap said they stopped teaching cursive so people don't know how to read the Constitution. Bingo. Yes. I was teaching a third grade one time, and the cursive books weren't even being used. They were not teaching kids how to print stuff or write stuff in cursive.
Right.
So, I mean, the public school system in this
Yeah,
country
our
is a
signatures-
freaking joke. Huh?
Our signature is going to work with a printed signature. In other words, our signatures, like on checks and documents, going to work with a printed signature, because that's the easiest to forge, is a printed signature.
Yeah. Yeah. Or a
You won't
tattoo.
need
Yeah.
your
Chip in the hand.
signature. You won't need your signature when they put a chip in your hand, because why? You can't rob a person. You're always worried about getting robbed or somebody, and now they got it to where they can walk by you and scan your pocket, and it'll read the card from at least 2 feet away. It'll
Ain't gonna
read
be
your
no
card.
chips. Ain't gonna be no chips here.
Yeah.
Only chip in my hand's gonna be chocolate chips. And I'm gonna
Well, that's not,
be
what I'm speaking of is just hypothetical. Things that could be happening. It's not in play, but
Yeah.
the more reasonable thing is to say the cash flow coming out, the dirty money. They don't even take money no more. You go try to pay your mortgage with cash.
Nope. That
They
well,
want
that and Dusty, yeah, you must have missed it. Yeah, ever since this new management took over, they want all their payments done in digital.
direct deposit.
Yep, digital money, man. Just and it's like, man, what the hell? What? So what? Checks don't work? I mean, I guess that's less paper I have to worry about, but at the same time, it's like, you know, we're moving away from the cashless system, folks.
Yeah, I pay with a money order to pay my mortgage because that's the way we set it up. I didn't get my money through our mortgage through a bank. I went to the person, and they held the mortgage for me for 10 years. And they said it was required to use money order. So I would take the cash, and then it cost me money to get that money order.
Mm.
And then it takes money from them to cash the money order. So I ate that charge. That's an extra shit. It was an extra couple $100 a year. It was $1,200 a year more.
Yeah. No, Dangerous, you were saying that they're moving away from a cashless system. No, they are going to a cashless system. They're basically what what do you call it? The landlords, if you will. They're going to a cashless system to where they're trying.
I misspoke. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I got what you're saying, man.
Yeah, they're moving away from cash. Yeah.
And look at USB. Yeah, and it's
going to be your wallet. This is going to be your wallet.
Yep.
And look at and what was it in that bill that was recently they approved? It's got to go. Did they fully? Huh?
It's got to go to the Senate. It passed through the House, went to the Senate, and I don't know. I think the Senate might have made some adjustments. I don't know, man. That bill was this freaking thick, man.
I was in school all day, so I didn't know what transpired.
Oh man, dude, it's ridiculous, man.
Yeah,
I'm telling
but
you.
Wasn't there something in that bill that the feds are going to monitor any your bank account for over $600? Are going to know about it.
I don't know about. the only one I really heard about, well, because I follow all the 2A channels, was they're gonna try and go after veterans and the military. It's like anybody that's had PTSD or anything like that, they're gonna try and red flag them. So
Now, yeah, all it takes is try and get a bunch of vets to kind of move into like a central area. I mean, there's not enough SWAT guys that can raid off a 3 square block radius. They can try, but they'll be seriously outgunned.
oh yeah,
You know who laid down the foundation, I think, is the Bank of America.
Yes.
This year, there was an article and a news report put out that Bank of America was turning in to the federal government things they found suspicious, and it was
Quote,
really
unquote.
just, it was quote unquote suspicious to the bank. If you're a gun owner, you spend your money from their bank to buy a weapon. So they were keeping track, and then they turned it over to the government, which that's the iffy part right now. Is why that's supposed to be separate. They're not supposed to do this private entity.
Right. Well, not only that, they turned in anybody who had a Bank of America credit card. They turned in anybody who spent money on their credit card on Washington, D.C., anywhere from January 4th to January 8th. They turned in those people to the FBI, and the feds eventually paid a visit to those folks. Some people were there the day before all that happened, and they were there for business.
I don't know if it violated the HIPAA laws.
Well, HIPAA is for medical, but if you were there,
wouldn't PTSD fall under that? Okay,
kind of, yeah. But you'd have to prove that you have to prove who ratted you out on how that made known. And if you're going against a government agency, good luck.
I mean, it's obvious that our government is coming after patriots, period.
Oh, yeah.
Plain and damn simple. Anybody that wears the red, white, and blue on their hat or on their sleeve or wherever, they don't like us.
You think?
Yeah, well, I'm really getting that opinion. And it's like these assholes don't even understand what they're doing. Well, maybe they do understand. And see, that's the question. That is the big question that I still have is are they so stupid that they don't understand, or are they doing this intentionally because they're under the globalist plan? I think they're under the globalist plan myself. That's why when they try and tell me I've got to do something, I'm going to do the exact opposite. But that's what Americans always do. You tell me I've got to do something, I'm going to do the exact opposite. You know what? No, kiss my ass. No,
you're absolutely right, Ron.
When you got time, man, I want you dangerous. You should go look up Alice Bailey when you got time. It's very interesting because this is a book that the UN had put in their library and is trying to implement across the world. That was part of the that educational thing we were just talking about, the Common Core. It was in there. And also what was in there is her writings are talking about how to eliminate the family unit to repurpose the kids down the road, because so you're not trickling in mom and dad's teachings to the kids. The kids are going to and take them values because they got to eliminate the values and reestablish a new value system for them. Like turn the kids away from their parents. If you haven't noticed, there's a big push. Now, kids have always been rebellious, but Disney, if you go back and look at the past 20 years of Disney movies, it's all about the kids running away from home and trying to get away from mom and dad. Mom and dad aren't always right. And they're just trying to keep you safe.
Yeah.
Look at the Pink Floyd song, Another Brick in the Wall.
Yep.
Listen to that song.
Well, it's also in the Communist Manifesto to get the children are property of the state.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And Big Chap in the chat mentioned, Any transaction $600 or more will be tracked. It used to be transaction of $2,000 or more. Most guns are a little over around 600, so they rolled it back to a lower amount. Yeah, they are actually watching, folks. My thinking is, if
It used to be
what
it
about
was
prepaid credit cards?
$10,000.
Yeah, yeah, you're
Used
right.
to be it was $10,000 because of drug smugglers.
Yep. Then they rolled it back to 2,000, and now it's 600. I mean, what are they going to do? Anything over $100 now?
I mean, could you imagine what happened during the Great Depression? Okay, the Great Depression. Women didn't want to get with guys that didn't have a job, weren't bona fide. Was what the terminology was, bona fide. You know, they had to have be civil. So you're turning fathers into criminals. Well, why should I listen to dad? He's no good. He's a drunk. You know. Well, dad wasn't a drunk before the economics. You know, mom wasn't a drunk before economics. It wasn't hard on mom. Oh, no man is good. We're getting back to that. The devaluing of the adults. I'm sorry, I was going back to the statement.
No, it ties in my opinion. High Point would be a bestseller.
Uncle Barry.
That's funny.
Hey, I'll own a High Point before I'll own a Taurus any day of the week.
I got a Taurus.
I own the Taurus.
I'm a Glock fanboy
Well,
myself.
I'm sorry.
I can't afford a Glock.
I'm a Colt.
I'm a poor.
I'm a Colt 1911 man and SIG.
Well, you know, Glock came out with a 357 SIG. Which is really the 9mm.
They're still Glocks.
You switch the barrels.
Glocks don't fit my hand. The angle's wrong on my hand for a Glock. I've tried several and no, they just don't feel right. But you put a SIG 220 in my hand or a 1911 Colt, I'm good with it. Even the old P38 or the old M40 Lotties, man, them feel great in my hand. But there's something about that angle on a Glock I ain't worth a shit with. So.
It's the Glock is based
everywhere.
off of the Luger.
Well, mine's fat, you know, so I got the subcompact. I didn't get the slim compact. I got the subcompact, so it's just a little smaller.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, the Mooseman, the angle of the grip for Glock is patterned off of the original Luger. That's why it doesn't feel natural. When John Browning developed the 1911, he made it not as pronounced, if you will, like you would see on the Lugers, but he kind of made it more natural, like you're holding something out, like a pipe. Going to hand a pipe to somebody. That's how you hold it straight up. That's how Browning came up with that grip angle, and it became more natural. And I think Glock and the Ruger. What is it? It's a 22 target pistol that Ruger has. It's got the very pronounced grip angle. I forget the Mark 8 or something
Mark
like that.
1 through Mark 5s. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, there you go. Thank you.
The Mark 1 through the Mark 5 are all that Luger angle. Yeah.
Yep.
I'll tell you
Now,
something
my
funny,
Lottie
Moose Man.
is a similar angle, but it feels good in my hand. Huh?
I'll tell you something funny. This is the strangest thing I
What
can
was that,
do.
Dusty? I missed it.
This is the strangest thing that happened to me on the shooting range. It was like a month ago. I had my 9mm out and I was shooting, and I said, I wonder. So I just stood to the side of it and looked at it, and I actually hit the target. And I was standing to the side of the gun, looking at the side of the gun, and I pulled the trigger and I actually hit the target.
Yeah.
I thought that was really neat.
Okay. That's your body and your mind and your eyes and your hand were coordinated to actually do that.
lock up, take a drink.
Or it could have been a lucky shot.
No doubt, right?
Well, I was sitting there for about 20 minutes, going through a few magazines and taking turns with people, and
Yeah.
I did that, and I was like, well, I got 2 more shots left, and I just stood to the side and went, "Tow, tow," and I was like, wow.
Well, it's good practice. I mean, what if you have to shoot around something where you can't really get it? What if you're behind cover, or concealment or whatever the case may be, and you gotta fire offhand. That's good practice, man. Right
Yeah.
on.
I don't know what the notion was that made me
Yeah.
think to do it, and I was like, I wonder what it looks like or something. I don't know. And I was like,
Now,
and pow,
if you
I'm
ever
like,
got
wow.
into cowboy action shooting, I used to do cowboy action shooting where you draw it and fired from the hip and reholstered. And it took me about 2 years to learn how to do it in about 6/10 of a second. I could draw my Ruger single action, fire, and reholster it, but I fired from the hip. You didn't bring the gun up. You just brought it off your hip and fired to hit the target. And it's called point and shoot. And it actually helped me out later in life going up against big game in Alaska to be able to do that. But it takes practice.
Mm-hmm. Everything
I'll
takes
take
practice.
shot. But yeah, I hear it's good to do that in your house. You sit there, even if you dry firing it, to do it from the hip, and then at the a doorknob or something.
Oh man, I was doing that today. I was watching some political videos, and they had some damn Democrats up there. I had to pull out my dry fire pistol, and yeah, so I got some target practice in today.
Yeah, I don't got mine's not all loaded up on my AR is, but my Glocks aren't. So I'm just going off the regular sights they have.
Yeah, well that's how I roll mine too. It's just I've got the laser bullet, the eye target bullet.
Yeah,
So
Those are nice.
yeah, dude, I like the eye target too, man.
Yeah.
Sometimes I use it on the actual target. Other times I'll turn on the TV and use it on that. Just because there's a lot of people that I think need it. There's a lot of people that need to be shot. But
No, with me, the only other good pistol outside my 1911 is a Beretta 92 series, and I spent the extra money and I got one of those 22 long rifle conversion kits. And for a while, I was out using at the range with the 22, practicing, and it cycles identical to the regular 9mm. Granted, it doesn't have the snap or the recoil of the 9, but you can put holes in paper and practice. And then when you get done with the 22, you just take the slide off, put your 9mm slide in, have a magazine with regular 9, just do one magazine of your regular target loads just to confirm your practice. And there you go. You just saved a ton of money at the range.
well, I thought about doing that with my
Yeah,
AR.
I have-
my AR. Because I know they make the 22
I have that
conversion.
system.
What's that, Moose?
Yeah, I have the 22 conversion from my 1911 70 series that I can convert to 22, the old Colt conversion. I have the M9 Beretta, but I've never seen the conversion for that. And then I have the AR-15 22 conversion too. And they work really nice. They're actually, these new ones that they've got now are extremely accurate with high velocity ammo in the AR-15. So it's cheaper shooting.
I would actually recommend getting a dedicated 22 upper, because if you're using, like, say, Remington Thunderbolt ammo, that your gas tube's just clogged to hell, and then you got to.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I don't use
Go ahead.
Remington, the Thunder duds.
Well,
Now,
at the
Dangerous,
time, that was the only I could get.
Dangerous, where's Jeremy when you need him, man? To do that, we do not condone violence on this channel or do.
Yeah, I know, right? Nothing illegal, unlawful, or no planning felonies, nothing racist or or sexist. Yep.
Being on your comment about targeting playing dry fire.
What? I mean, dude, it's just me practicing my dry fire training. And I didn't say who I was practicing with, but
Paper
yeah,
people.
there were politicians on the screen.
Which we don't condone.
Yes. No, Ron, I have one of those conversion kits too, and like I said, the black powder used in 22 long rifle, it just gums up your gas tube. And not only that, if your twist rate is like say a 1 in 7, which is more suited for your heavier rounds, like your 62 grain on up, the spin is way too fast. And I was keyholing, even at 25 yards. Those rounds are keyholing.
Yeah.
So if you have like a 1 in
I use
8 or
mine
slower,
I got a 1 in 9
I use
on
1 in
mine.
12. I use mine in my 1 in 12 in my M16 A1 replica. I use it. It's got the 1 in 12, and it works great with the 22 conversion. And I use the Federal High Velocity or the CCI mini mags, and they work just fantastic.
yeah, you're closest
Clean
to
to burning.
the 1 in 12 is the closest to a Remington or a Ruger 1022. The twist rate in a 1022 is 1 in 16.
Right. Most
Moose Man, can
22s
you
are
see
1
my
in
icon?
16, even my target rifles. Yeah.
Moose Man, do you see my icon?
Yeah.
That saddle that's holding them 12 gauges is $140 for that saddle. Holds 14 shells.
Wow.
Wow. So, Ron, what were you going
You
to
need
say?
a 3D printer. You can print your own with a 3D printer, Dusty.
Not with that gun. that thing's going to blow off that red dot too. It's just too much power right there.
AV Lawns has got a 3D printer, and he's printing those shell holders up for his pump shotgun. He's been dressing up 12 gauge, and all them files are available to 3D print. He's got some neat stuff he can make.
Yeah. Hey, Dangerous, I'm going to jump out of here, man. Y'all, thanks for having me on here, guys.
All right, brother.
Later, Dusty.
Good to see you, Dusty.
Y'all too. Later.
Keep them comedies rolling.
Now, Ron, what were you going to say about conversion for your AR?
Well, my Bushmaster has a 1 in 9.
Yeah, that would work. For long distance, it's still going to be spinning pretty fast. If, like I said, I would recommend if anybody wanted to get a 22 in the AR instead of the conversion bolt. If you have to, yeah, get the conversion bolt kind of as a emergency backup. But for practice, get an actual 22 long rifle upper, and they have the CMMG magazines. Get the upper made by CMMG. That way you can use their magazines, and it has the same weight and feel as your regular upper, and it's a good training tool.
Yep. I've got this old original Signer 22 conversion from back in, must be back in the 70s that did it. Now CMMG's copied it. Basically, they've made it a little different change. I've got some extra parts for a CMMG, and I plan on picking up one of those in the future sometime just to have. But yeah, like I said, it worked great in my 1 in 12 with high velocity ammo.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the only thing I got to add about those conversion kits. 1 in 8, you're kind of pushing it. 1 in 9, you're good to go. 1 in 7, no bueno.
Yeah. Even the 1 in 7's a little bit tight for the 55 grain bullet. You should shoot 62 grain up 5.56 ammo in the 1 in 7s.
Yeah, that's primarily what I stockpiled.
Yeah. Because I
All
have
right.
spun bullets so fast that they exploded out 10 feet out the end of the barrel. They turn into a gray puff of dust. The centrifugal force just tears the bullets apart.
All right, I want to I'm going to get off of here. We've been on for a little over 2 hours. I only meant to go for about 2. I want to
right.
thank Ron and Moose and Dusty for coming on here and hanging out with us. Um, everybody in chat. Um, yeah, I always ask, but it's like, do you ever sleep? And it's like, well, yeah, actually, that's what I'm planning on doing right now. I need to go get some rest because I still have the After Dark to do. So if y'all don't know, my After Dark channel is one of my awesome mods. I know we'll drop it in there if you don't already have it. Um, but at the same time, yeah, I'll be around tonight. But like seriously, I need to get some rest. It's been a busy
I
day.
need to get some food. It's supper
Yeah.
time in Oklahoma.
Yeah, I just sucked down a snack myself, to be honest. But um, anyways, everybody, thank you all very much for coming and hanging out. And remember, hit the subscribe and come join me on the after. Or we get a little freaky geeky. Well, we're allowed to talk a little bit more openly over our here, but it is what it is. Everybody, thank you, and I will see you all